वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी
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 जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय
नित्य
गौर
गौर
हरि
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद जय
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 जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद
जय जय श्रीपाद 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 श्रीला श्रीपाद जय
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 जय श्रीपाद 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 श्रीला श्रीपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 श्रील गुरुदेव जय जय
जय गुरुदेव 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 श्रीला गुरुदेव
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय
नित्य
गौर
गौरा हरि
हरि गौर
बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल
निताय गौरांग प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल बोलो जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम निताय गौरांग भगवान जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवती नैष्ठिकी। The prayers, the transcendental qualities of Vṛtrāsura, and he is offering the prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the battlefield. He's battling, fighting against Indra. Indra is going to kill Vṛtrāsura, and he's sure to be killed, because this is the arrangement of the Lord. And today he will start speaking the last 4 shlokas, which is called Chatushloki in practical essence, the essence of Chatushloki of Bhagavatam, which originally Lord Krishna spoke to Brahmaji, correct? Lord Krishna tells Uddhavji, Pura maya proktam ajaya nabhe. Pura maya, in the past. Proktam ajaya nabhe. Ajaya means Lord Brahma, who is not born from the womb of the mother. Pura maya proktam ajaya nabhe. Padme nishannaye mamadi sarge. Jnanam param mahimav bhasam yat surayo bhagavatam vadanti. Lord Krishna says that what I spoke to Brahma in the beginning of the creation, that is known as Bhagavatam. Yat Surayo, the Devatas or the learned people call it Bhagavatam. So the essence, the gist, or the seed of Bhagavatam is Chatushloki. Now, that same message, Sambandha Gyan, Abhidayam and Prayojan, 3 subject matters, are practically demonstrated or manifest in the prayers of Vṛtrāsura. And that's why Vṛtrāsura's these prayers are considered practical application of Chatushloki. So if one practically adopts this mood and expression of Vṛtrāsura, then he has perfected the message of Bhagavatam. You know, the Chatushloki, which is in the second canto of 9th chapter, from 33 to 36, or something like that. 32, 33, 34, 35. Those are the shlokas which are very esoteric, but they have the message in the codes. Vṛtrāsura has decoded that message very wonderfully. And to just recap the background, how Vṛtrāsura, previously he was a King Chitraketu, correct? And he got the Mahat Kripa. Although he was so entangled in household desires and entanglement, how much can you imagine? He married millions of wives. Does it sound exaggeration? Not exaggeration, because the king could have as many as he wanted. The king was the provider for the whole kingdom. So anybody would be able to give the king, son, but he could not bear a son in with any of his queens. So that kind of entanglement and vasana he had. But the king was very pious, religious. So this is the advantage of being born for those who are followers of Vedic tradition, Vedic dharma, Varnashram dharma. There is always a possibility of attaining satsang, because by etiquette, those who are renounced in their demeanor for spiritual upliftment, they are honored by other classes of the society. So within that culture, it is quite possible that the followers of Vedic culture will attain satsang of a pure devotee someday. So this is exactly what happened. He was very respectful to the great pure devotee Narad Muni and Angira Rishi. Of course, what is the nature of the great souls? What business they have to wander from place to place, village to village, town to town, and moving amongst the people? So he was, just see the situation of Chitraketu, and we can relate with the situation of most of the worldly people. Although he was endowed with all the wealth, all the opulences, but one thing was bothering him: no son. And if a person who is capable in so many ways from worldly point of view, and if he feels the need of something which he cannot get even from his all other means, he's ready to spend any money, anything he's ready to do if he can get. But certain things you cannot purchase from money. So this is the situation. There will always be something unfulfilled. So this is a position. So the great sages, they travel among the masses to give the resolve to the conditioned souls who are suffering with something lacking in their life. Actually, it is the need of the soul which they are not able to address on their own. Even if they follow religiosity, only the pure devotees, Mahatpurushas, can enlighten one. So whenever such great renounced people travel in some village or to anyone's house, the followers of Vedic culture, they greatly feel honored that such a Mahatma visited them, such a saintly person visited them. The same expression was we hear in Srimad Bhagavatam in 10th canto when Garga Muni visited Nanda Baba. So what Nanda Baba, how he greeted him? He said he expressed his jubilation. He said, Mahad Vichilanam Ninam Grihinam Dina Chetasam Nishreyasaya Bhagavan Kalpate Nanyatha Kvachit. In 10th canto, in 8th chapter beginning, when Garga Muni, inspired by Vasudevji, Krishna's father in Mathura, he wanted his Raj Purohit, Garga Muni, to go visit in Braja to the place of Nanda Baba where Krishna and Balram are being raised. Krishna was only 100 days old. How old was Krishna? When Garga Muni visited, just information's sake. And this is how Nanda Baba received him. Oh, such great persons, Mahad Vicharam, you're moving amongst the people, especially those who are engrossed in household affairs. Grihinam Dina Chetasam. They have to go through so many tensions and so many issues they have to face, correct, in household life, societal, familial, etc. So what business you can have possibly to move among such people who are already troubled, due to grihastashram in household affairs. Your only business is only to cause their good fortune. Nishreyasaya Bhagavan, only to cause their ultimate good, to ignite them, to enlighten them, because they are so engrossed and so absorbed in household affairs. In such situation, only the great person who is renounced from worldly affairs, he walks among the people who are engrossed in family affairs, societal affairs. Tell them there is a need. As a human being, we cannot remain engrossed only in animalistic activities or proclivities. There is a special mission as a human being. So, Nishreyasaya Bhagavan Kalpate Nanyatha Kvachit. There cannot be any other motive for the saintly persons, for the Mahatpurusha, to walk amongst the worldly people, anything other than causing their great fortune or ultimate good. Nishreyasaya means for ultimate good. So when they reached the kingdom, they saw the king very much lamenting, but because king was very, very service-oriented, and seeing the condition of the king such a way, they were not able to give directly him the highest instructions. But somehow, because when somebody is hankering for something so bad, how he cannot maintain his focus. So somehow these great persons, they were so powerful. They were powerful to give any boon and also powerful to curse someone. So both situations, but in either case, the ultimate good of the conditioned soul begins. Apparently, they gave him the boon to get a son. Although to get a son was not in his prarabdha, in his destiny. But these Mahatpurushas, they were so capable that they created a situation whereby the king begot a son from his main queen. And the story is very, very wonderful. And Harsh Shok. So it's a very tattvic word. You will get a son who will be named Harsh Shok, because coming of the sun will give you great joy, but that very sun will be the cause of your greater misery, shock with misery. Harsh shock. Have you ever heard the name of a sun? But harsh shock, that is the name of every son to whom a father becomes attached, because son, when he is born, is the cause of great harsh joy. But when he is, he does not act like a son, or he is no more. Same thing, correct? While living, if he is not acting like a son, the many times parents wonder, we wish we did not have a son, correct? So anyway, they blessed him, so-called, with the son. Then they got a son from the main queen. The other queens became envious. And although for short time they had the joy, the king and the queen, but the envious queens made a plot and poisoned the child. So child died, and the lamentation of the king became even more. At that very time, again, the Mahapurushas returned, and lamentation is so horrible. So by their great power, they bring the dead son back to life and make the child speak about transcendence to his own father. So the son is instructing, because the father is saying, "Oh, my son, why you have gone back? I cannot live without you, so please don't go." Then son is telling, who's father and who is son? So anyway, he just said that this life, the journey is just like this. So by the mercy of these great Mahatmas, through the agency of his own son, the message, the king gets the message, yes, the futility of this material existence, and the purpose of human life is to worship the Supreme Lord. So this ignorance was removed, and Narad Muni gave him the mantra to worship the Supreme Lord, Lord Sankarshana. Dvadashakshar mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So these are 12 letters in that. So with that mantra, he was initiated, and Narad Muni and Angira Rishi lived. So as a result of that, by following the instructions of the Guru, Narad Muni, he got very quickly the mercy of Lord Sankarshan. He got the vision of Lord Sankarshan. Then Krishna appeared as Lord Sankarshan and gave Chitraketu a plane. And also he gave him the form, like a Vidyadhar. Vidyadhar means one who sings very sweetly. So not only he received, by the mercy of Lord Sankarshan, he perfected his bhakti, and also perfected his, he attained all the siddhis. He was able to travel all over the Brahmand with his plane. So one day as he was traveling, he saw Lord Shiva. We discussed that last time. And then when he made some funny comments on Lord Shivaji, Lord Shiva was feeling all right. But his wife, Parvati, who was very deeply devoted to her husband and Lord Shiva, could not tolerate. So naturally one can tolerate the insult to oneself, But when other Vaishnavas are insulted, we should not tolerate. So Parvati's behavior is very timely. It is, but Lord Shiva later on, when Chitraketu, because he had received the mercy of the Lord and the great personalities, he accepted the curse of Parvati. Parvati cursed him that for insulting Lord Shiva, you be born as a demon. This was the curse of the Parvati. And King Chitraketu as Vidyadhar accepted that boon without resisting or counter cursing or anything like this. So that is another quality of when a person has received the mercy of the Supreme Lord and the mercy and the direction of the great pure devotees like Narad Muni, whatever things happen in their life, they see as an arrangement of Krishna's special mercy. You know, naturally, how this happens, we will discuss that how the Lord fulfills the desire of a devotee, and the way he fulfills a devotee's desire very mysterious, you know, because Krishna doesn't want to postpone or procrastinate a devotee's existence in this material world. He wants to expedite his journey back home, back to Godhead. Nah? This is what you will see. So then we find that Tvashta Rishi, you know, the one who became the priest for the Devatas, you know, Indra's Devata Tvashta Rishi performed the yajna for Indra, you know, and so this is very interesting. Anyway, Vṛtrāsura is born from the Dakshinagni. Such a horrible figure, Vṛtrāsura. And it is described that every day his size will grow by the size of one arrow. And he created havoc all over the universe. And all the demigods were so perturbed. And all the devatas headed by Lord Indra, they approached Lord Vishnu. Narayan said, okay. Apparently, Lord Narayan or Vishnu protects the devatas and he annihilates the demons, because demons create disturbance for people who want to follow religious principles. But ultimately, the purpose of provision for religious performance or dharma, so that through satsang, eventually, why the platform of dharma versus adharma is essential, because on the platform of religious principles, there is a great possibility of attaining the association of pure devotees who can enlighten us into param dharma. Merely remaining engaged in charge of dharma, like all the devatas. Devatas bless those who follow dharma. But Krishna bestows ultimate mercy those who follow the direction of Mahatpurushas, who give us the real ultimate achievement of human potential. That is param dharma. So anyway, devatas approach Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu makes the arrangement for the killing of Vṛtrāsura. You know, by Krishna's advice, they approach Rishi Dadhichi, whose austerity was so strong and his bones became so strong, you know. And because it was the wish of the Supreme Lord, Dadhichi Rishi accepted, okay, the Lord wants to use the bones of my body for some purpose. Can you believe this? The sacrifice of Dadhichi Rishi. When he found that the Lord wants that he gave up his body. Because from his bones, they wanted to make this thunderbolt. You know. He's called Vṛtrāsura. So now all this thing is arranged, and King Indra is holding this Vṛtrāsura, this thunderbolt, and he is challenging Vṛtrāsura, but rather Vṛtrāsura is challenging Indra. Vṛtrāsura knows that he will be killed. The Lord has created this weapon, just customized, custom kill me. He knows it, and so, but the horrible demeanor of Vṛtrāsura is horrifying in Indra, but he has the confidence of Lord Vishnu. Yes, he will be victorious against Vṛtrāsura. So when King approached Vṛtrāsura with his elephant Airavat, his form was so humongous that he swallowed Indra along with his elephant carrier Airavat. All the devatas became very, very, very disturbed. But the Vṛtrāsura again just, what do you spit out? The king with his elephant, and then challenging, okay, you got the thunderbolt, kill me, kill me, kill me. He's challenging it, actually. Because as soon as Vṛtrāsura gets killed by the arrangement of Lord, he's going back to Godhead. Right? So he's very eager to be killed. Can you imagine? In the battlefield, anybody who is so sure to be killed, and getting killed is the only thing in the way to receive the ultimate gift. Can you imagine? The consciousness of Vṛtrāsura is putting, he's perfectly committed, very much ready to be killed to attain the supreme destination. So kill me, he's challenging Indra. Because that is the will of the Lord. So he's instructing Indra that to fulfill the desire of the Lord, there is no dharma greater than that. So you should kill me. So now I'm putting my mind to the lotus feet of Krishna, and you kill me. Don't delay. This horrible, the body in the mode of ignorance I have got, I will get rid of it. So you kill me. I will become liberated. I will attain the supreme destination. I will attain the supreme. So saying this, he just, as if remembering, seeing the Lord right in front of him. Now he's going to utter the prayers. The previous two slokas also he uttered. Those were his realizations that when one is on the way to attain the prayer mercy of the Supreme Lord, how the Lord isolates him from worldly entanglement. Yo durlabho akinchana gocharonye. It's a very rare, and that rare mercy is visible only to those who are fully surrendered to the Lord. Those who are not fully surrendered, those who are not pure devotees, they cannot perceive. Yo durlabho akinchana gochara. For whom the Lord is the only possession. Such persons can perceive the Lord is making this special arrangement to bestow me the ultimate mercy. But those who are not pure devotees means those who are still stuck with so many mundane aspirations in this world. They may not appreciate the special mercy coming their way. So only if we identify with the consciousness of Vṛtrāsura, he is so eager to receive the special mercy of the Lord. When the Lord creates a situation for someone, even to be killed, if it is a special agenda of the Supreme, can you imagine? So the killing of Vṛtrāsura is a special agenda by the Lord. And he is going to attain the supreme destination. He's very much sure. We can also, so first shloka, Chatushloki, 6, 11, 24. If you can open, if you have possible, we can all read. Aham Hare Tav Padaika Mula Dasanudaso Bhavitasmi Bhuya Manah Smarita Supatir Gunamste Ginita Vakarma Karotu Kaya Hai. So in this first shloka, the Sambandha Gyan, Sambandha Tattva is so wonderfully described. Basically, like in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, Punsa Striya Maithuni Bhavametad Tayor Mithor Hridaya Granthi Mahapur Ato Griha Kshetra Sutapta Vittair Janasya Mohoyam Aham Mameti. Aham Mameti, the identity crisis as to who am I and who is mine, correct? This identity crisis is removed in the first shloka. What is the translation? Can we read the translation? Vṛtrāsura saying, Aham Hare Tav Padaika Mutam. Can you put the translation on the screen? Or I can put here. Okay. He says, O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants who find shelter only at your lotus feet? O Lord of my life, may I again become their servant so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes. My words always glorify those attributes, and my body always engage in the loving service of your lordships. Correct? So Srila Prabhupada writes, this verse gives the sum and substance of devotional life. One must first become a servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord. Dasanu Dasa. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised, and he also showed by his own example, that a living entity should always desire to be a servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. Gopi bhartuhu padakamalayur dasa dasanu dasa. This means that one must accept a spiritual master who comes in the disciplic succession and is a servant of the Lord. Under his direction, one must then engage one's three propensities, namely the body, mind, and words. The body should be engaged in physical activity under the order of the spiritual master. The mind should think of Krishna incessantly. And one's words should be engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord. If one is thus engaged in the loving service of the Lord, one's life is successful. So wonderfully explained. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here basically, this the shloka starts with the word aham. Me. So what I think of myself is very critical. So from Vṛtrāsura we can get this direct message. What he is thinking, what is aspiring himself to be, where he wants to become reinstated with his I. Aham Hare Tav Padaika. This is Dasa Dasanubhava. Aham Hare Tav is addressing to the O Lord, those who are engaged in the service, loving service of your lotus feet. Tav Padaika Mulam. Dasanu Daso Bhavitasvi. Again, when I will get that fortune. So he got the fortune coming under the shelter of Krishna's associates, Narad Muni. And now he got the curse, so he's remembering. Actually, the curse is a very inconceivable mercy of the, it's an arrangement of the Lord. But here the identity crisis point. Aham. So this Chatushloki, which is mentioned here, it starts with Aham in the first shloka. In the last shloka, it starts with Mama. Aham Mameti. What in the material consciousness, we think of I identifying with this material perishable body. This body is everything because I have no idea other than this body as far as when I think, who am I? But Vṛtrāsura is in his purified, pure consciousness, is describing that I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the identity crisis is completely removed, correct? But this is his realization. He received the mercy of Narad Muni, Angira Rishi, and he became engaged in pure glorification of the Lord as a Gandharva also. But Krishna's inconceivable mercy, this is what we must find out the perspective, how this is possible, how this apparently one who received the mercy, full mercy, but full mercy is something we should not become saturated with. We should not feel saturated. Rather, as we receive the mercy, we should hanker for more mercy. When we stop hankering for more mercy, when we cannot see that somebody has received more mercy, correct? However greatly we have received the mercy of the Supreme Lord, but there are always many pure devotees who are more attached, or those who are more fortunate than oneself. This will be very progressive inspiration for all of us. A sadhak should never think that he has received all the mercy, so he doesn't hanker for any more. Actually, one who has perceived the real mercy of the Lord, he will become greedy for more mercy. This is the symptom. So Vṛtrāsura naturally, although he received the mercy, he thinks, but the fortune of Narad Muni and Angira Rishi is greater. They are more dear to Krishna than himself. They are capable to fulfill Krishna's mission so wonderfully. They are so confidential of the Lord. So here, Vṛtrāsura asking, since I am servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord, then I should engage my three faculties, the body, the mind, and the words. Karmana, mansa, vacha. Karmana means with actions of the body. Mansa means with the mind, engagement of the mind, remembering something. And vacha means words. So how wonderfully he aspires to engage his words, his actions of the body, limbs, and his mind in the service of the Lord. Manah smareta supatir gunamste. Manah. He wants to engage his mind because he's servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So his engagement in accordance to his real identity as the servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord. Manah smareta supatir gunamste. He wants to engage his mind in constantly remembering. Always think of your transcendental attributes. Manas maritasu patir gunamste. Grinit vak. Grinita Vak, and glorify your glories. Manah smareta supater gunam, se Grinita Vak, karma karo tu kaya, and engage in your service. Grinita Vak, karma karo tu kaya, and engage my body, or engage my body in doing work for you, or performing different limbs of your devotional service. So these are the three faculties. If we are situated in our pure or eternal identity as the eternal servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord, then we would want to engage our mind in constantly remembering the glories of the Supreme Lord, pastimes, using our Vani or the voice, speaking faculty in glorifying the Supreme Lord, and using our body to perform various activities. So he's addressing those who have taken shelter at a lotus feet. Means eternal associates of the Lord here. So I want to become servant of those. Haretav padaik moolam. Those who are eternally engaged as the associates of the Lord. He wants to become servant of them. And this is so here in this section, what is really fascinating is that when Krishna wants to bestow mercy upon the conditioned soul, he bestows through a pure devotee. So this is a Bhagavata Siddhanta. The causeless mercy is not of the Supreme Lord. If the Supreme Lord bestows causeless mercy on any one of us, then everybody will challenge him. Now he has to bestow causeless mercy on all of us, correct? So Krishna is looking for some cause to bestow mercy. If he causelessly shows his mercy to anyone, then all conditioned souls will have to be given mercy. Then there will be nothing left for anyone else to do, correct? But Krishna wants to glorify his pure devotees. So Krishna doesn't directly show his mercy, although he's capable. But we see, although he's capable, Krishna has bestowed mercy upon the conditioned souls only through his pure devotees. So Krishna's kripa depends on Mahat kripa. But Mahat kripa is ahetuki. Devotees don't wait. When I will get the inspiration from the Lord, then I will go and share Krishna Kita. I will do preaching, or I will do this if I get the indication from the Lord. They don't wait. They go out of their way. They already know what the Lord wants of them. They simply want to become the instrument of the Supreme Lord, to bestow his mercy upon the conditioned souls. So we can see that when a person follows rules and regulations of dharma, basic fundament, that's why Srila Prabhupada so much emphasized the establishment of Varnashram dharma, where at least the religious principles are followed. Even for sense gratification, one should follow religious injunctions with regard to what we eat and how we conduct ourselves. And even for begetting progeny, there is a religious process. So because following the religious principles, it has some satisfaction of the Lord. And as a result of that, those who are religiously following or conducting their lives, Krishna arranges the meeting of pure devotees. So on their own accord, we can see the Mahat Purushas, Nayad Muni comes to the king who is so much engrossed in material consciousness. And of course, they bestowed his mercy, freed him from this material hankering to get a son. And So when the king received such a mercy from the Narad Muni and Angira Rishi, because he got initiated, he got the darshan of Lord Sankarshan, got the blessing, everything, but still he saw that the mercy which I have received is very like a bottom level category. But the mercy which Narad Muni and Angira Rishi, they are the personal agents, personal servants of the Lord. No? So he experiences this, he feels it. That because they did magical things, correct? They brought the dead son, brought back to life. Such magic, who can perform? Those who are um, those who are those who are carrying special mercy. How the Lord listens to their command. Such a pure devotee, such a Param Bhagavat Narad Muni. As if Krishna is under their command. So this is what the King Chitraketu felt in his previous life. The Vṛtrāsura, who was King Chitraketu. So he's remembering his previous life as King Chitraketu, that he received the mercy of Narad Muni and Angira Rishi. And how Krishna is controlled by such pure devotees. So he also, a desire sprouted in his heart. The king said, yes, I received the mercy, but how fortunate, what a greater mercy Narad Muni and King Angira Rishi have. I wish I could have that mercy. I could also act on behalf of the Lord. The Lord can also see me as his own, So he hankers to be counted by the Lord as his own. That was he expressed in the first two prayers previous to today. Yo durlabha kincha punsam kilai kanta dhyam swakanam. So he hankers that Krishna considers him his own. And so now Krishna says, oh, that's a good desire. If one desires, one hankers to become more dear, or one desires or aspires to endear oneself to Krishna, Krishna likes that thing, sincere desire. Then he creates something to expedite that journey. So as a part of expediting his journey to attain the supreme destination, this pastime of, the Parvati Devi cursing Chitraketu, and he becoming this Vṛtrāsura. And because it was a special arrangement by the Lord, so even in the demon's body, his desire to attain the love of Krishna has not died. Can you imagine? Because he had received the Mahat Kripa. So one who is endowed with Mahat Kripa, even if he is accidentally, or because accident it appears to us, but it is the arrangement of the Lord. Once one has received the real mercy of the Mahat Purusha, and if he, as a result of which he hankered for more mercy, correct? If we have received the real mercy of a pure devotee, what will happen to our consciousness? We will hanker for greater mercy. And as a result of hankering for greater mercy, now the Lord intervenes and Lord expedites his journey to attain the direct association of the Lord. So without hankering, it is not possible. It is this is Krishna's symptom. Krishna loves desperation in his devotees for him. Now we have to deal Krishna like this, So what is one of the symptoms of Krishna? If we want to attain the Supreme, somehow or other we have to go through a situation where we will hanker so much to attain the special mercy of Krishna. Because without really hankering in desperation for Krishna, Krishna is not like casual. In Rajasthani language, there is a saying, भगवान कोई ठाला थोड़ी बैठा है, Krishna is not like Krishna has nothing else to do, correct? So if anybody wishes to meet Krishna, Krishna says, okay, come on. No, no, no. Krishna wants to see who is really dying for me, who really wants me. Correct? Why Krishna is extraordinary, we all agree. Then he deserves to have the association or give his association to extraordinary people. So how we fulfill or perfect our potential of becoming extraordinary in the eyes of Krishna? Potentially we are extraordinary or not? Okay, let me ask this question, all of you, beautiful souls. Do you think you are extraordinary? It has two aspects. Our Prem Prayojan is smiling. Do you think potentially we are all extraordinary, isn't it? In our Swarup, are we not extraordinary? We are part and parcel of Krishna. How can we be not extraordinary? Although in our Swarup, in our potential we can become the object of attraction for Krishna. However small and insignificant we are, we have the potential to become the object of attraction even for Krishna, who is all attractive. Krishna attracts everyone, the whole existence. But through pure sentiment and pure consciousness in our heart for Krishna, through our love for Krishna, in our heart, and we think of only to bring greater joy for Krishna, in that state of consciousness, Krishna is attracted to such a devotee. So basically, even though we are extraordinary, but the three things which are mentioned in today's shloka, through our words, actions, and mind, how are we engaged? Our engagement of these three faculties, the words, speaking potency, the mind, thinking, and the actions through the body, through the senses. Do the actions of these three faculties, the way we are engaged right now, can we call them extraordinary? If we are eternal servant of the Lord, then extraordinariness about us would be established. If what Vṛtrāsura is telling in today's shloka, Manas Maritasu Pater Gunaste, O Lord of the whole living entities, may I engage my mind in incessantly glorifying, or engage my mind in incessantly thinking about you. Manas Smaritar. Smaritar means remembering. Asupater Gunamste, your wonderful, transcendental, the qualities of your opulence, qualities of your sweetness, everything. And engage my words in glorifying your qualities. Remembering to the mind, glorifying to the voice, and engage my body in performing actions for your pleasure. Would that put us to the extraordinary category or not? Correct? So in the present status, in the present moment, what level of extraordinariness we have accomplished? You know, we have to increase, we have to raise the bar. And when we are able to do this, then our hankering for the Lord will be there, because desperation for the Lord will increase. So this is the potential as a human being we all have, that we can attain the extraordinary status for whom? Do I perceive myself that I am extraordinary? But when I say I have the potential to become extraordinary, for whom? In Krishna's estimation, correct? Natali? I can think of you as extraordinary on many counts, correct? But can I afford to think of myself as extraordinary? Can I afford? Why? Even in your estimation or anybody's estimation, of course, we are thinking what Krishna thinks about of me. So I have to leave this up to Krishna. But if I think I am extraordinary, then Krishna says, okay, live with it. Now you are on your own. That is the danger. So, however wonderfully we are engaged, until we receive the final mercy of Krishna, we cannot afford to think that I have done enough. You know, the sense of desperation for Krishna must be ignited, and that in that desperation also there's such a wonderful joy of attaining the Supreme. Because the hankering for Krishna, the desperation for Krishna will free us from all other mundane material hankerings. When one becomes that attached to Krishna, that desperate for Krishna, then Krishna says, yes, now nothing else will do for him. Everything else has become useless for him. Then Krishna appears. So this is Krishna's symptom, that he loves desperation in his devotees for him. So we should work up to that point of desperation. And that's why this desperation on the part of King Chitraketu created this situation, that he wanted to become more near and dear to the Lord, and that's why the Lord created this pastime. And he's experiencing the previous life. Vṛtrāsura, demon Vṛtrāsura, is remembering his previous life as King Chitraketu, in which, he knew that if he desires to become more dear and near to the Lord, it can happen only by more mercy of the pure devotees. Because on his own, he cannot attain the love of the Supreme. Rather, those who have attained that fortune of love of God, we can get it from them. So he is feeling like that. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult. You see, that's why the king is making prayer in this first shloka. How again I can attain the service of your servants, servant of your servants. Because only when we submit ourselves in anugatya, accepting the shelter of the lotus feet of the pure devotees, we cannot attain the pure love of Godhead. This pure love of Krishna, one receives like it's like an infectious disease. No? Like Corona a couple of years ago, anybody who got Corona, if one associates with him, he also becomes infected. No? So that kind of disease one wants to avoid. But this Krishna Prem disease, Krishna Prem Roga, it is received only through Sankraman, only by becoming infected with the association of one who is infected with such love of God. So, as a sadhaka, our search should be to really identify the person who is infected with love of Krishna. It's a very subjective subject matter. We must do satsang or association of devotees with the desire to perceive that pure love of Krishna in someone. Of course, all devotees aspire to attain the full-fledged love of Krishna, like Vṛtrāsura. He's remembering the mercy he received from Narad Muni and Angira Rishi, and himself is hankered for that same mercy. And now he has come to the point where he's only praying to the Lord that, yes, please give me the shelter where I can be engaged in the service of your eternal associates. So that way, this first shloka of Vṛtrāsura is very, very wonderful. So when we take shelter of the pure devotees under their direction, we follow the instructions of sadhana bhakti, and by following sadhana bhakti, the path of pure bhakti opens for us. And what happens when we associate with such devotees or follow the instructions of pure devotees? Then all these, limbs of bhakti, Shravana Kirtana, then slowly our faith deepens. The faith goes from mind level to buddhi level to ego level to chitta level, correct? It's a faith, Shraddha, becomes converted into asakti. Asakti is the critical because the swarupa of a bhakti is bhava bhakti. Bhakti is not casual. The sadhan bhakti is not the real bhakti. Vaidhi bhakti is not the real bhakti. Vaidhi bhakti is like some rules and regulations to just modify us, because we are not grooved, we are not modified enough to perform pure devotional or bhava bhakti. So in order to bring us to the point of bhava bhakti, asakti is the most critical state in performing devotional service. So one becomes eventually attached to a sadhu that brings perfection in one's life. Kapil Muni, in his instructions to Mother Devhuti, he says this: every sadhaka must memorize this shloka, and that will make our vision that what will cause extraordinary transformation in our consciousness, what will bring conviction in our heart that we will attain perfection in this very lifetime. We all need a guarantee to attain the perfection of our human potential in this very lifetime. What would be that guarantee? So that guarantee is that coming to the point of asakti for a Mahat Purush. What is the shloka? Could you open Canto 3, chapter 25, text number 20? I think someone was already ready for it. Prasangam ajaram pasham atmanah kavayo vidu sa eva sadhushu krito mokshadvaram apavritam. This is the essence, this is the secret of perfecting this Bhagavat Dharma, perfecting our Krishna consciousness. So you can read the translation purport also on your own, but the point is very clear. Every learned man knows very well that attachment for the material is the greatest. Okay, you want to bring attachment for the material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. But that same attachment, when applied to the self-realized devotees, opens the door of liberation. So naturally, and then among the devotees, we become, among many devotees, many pure devotees, we show our honor, respect, and worshipful mood. And then when we become, when we accept the subservience or the surrender under the guidance of one of them, then naturally our attachment and dedication, devotion increases. And that causes our untanglement from this material existence. So this is the process that how a pure devotees, once we identify a pure devotee in our life, even if the pure devotee comes in our life, but to be able to identifying and then also becoming dedicated to him. Dedication is very, very essential. Dedication leads to devotion. Devotion means attachment. So then one becomes free from all other attachments. That is the effect. Because attachment is always going to be singular. One cannot become simultaneously attached to more than two things or two people of the opposite nature. So attachment to a saintly person, attachment to a pure devotee, developing a perception of most blessed one. That is the fundamental thing. But that appraisal of a pure devotee as the most blessed is the beginning. But our dedication alone will lead to devotion. If we don't become unconditionally dedicated to follow his instructions, the attachment may be procrastinated. So if one becomes attached to a pure devotee, what happens? In attachment, one wants to offer oneself. Even on material platform, do we know the difference between attachment and attraction? When we become attracted to someone, we want to get something out of that thing or person. But when we become attached to someone, we want to offer ourselves. Like parents are very much attached to their children, because parents have invested so much in the children. Mother has invested so much love and unconditional affection towards the child. So naturally, mother becomes attached to the child. She also wants to offer more how the child can become happy. The happiness of the child is the only thing in her thought. Similarly, when one becomes attached to a saintly person, then it's like how one thinks of a beloved. The thought process goes just like that. Attachment is a very powerful thing because it is singular. It is ekantik. So when that attachment, when the object of attachment becomes a saintly person, a pure devotee, then one will offer oneself completely, unconditionally. All the anarthas, all the unwanted habits and likings, they will disappear instantaneously. And all the positive things in accordance to the liking and the directions and the instructions of a saintly person, we will imbibe very fast. So that is the secret of attaining success, perfection of our human potential. So I think I should stop there. And this is the Sambandha Gyan. Who am I? There should be no more identity crisis left with this. One final point came to the thought. The first Chatusloki Shloka in second canto, 9th chapter, also begins with the same word, aham. Krishna says, what is the shloka? Aham. Aham evasam evagre nanyad yad sad asat param pasyadaham yadi tatche yob sishyeta somyaham. In next Tuesday, we will make this connection of this Chatushloki to that Chatushloki. All right, I can stop here. If anybody would like to add something or some comment, questions. Welcome everyone once again.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Thank you for your class. I always feel very spiritually nourished after your classes. So I just want to ask one question. So what should be the mood we should develop before taking the shelter of a pure devotee? So,
The mood is very simple. That I want to become a pure devotee. There are a lot of paradoxes on this spiritual path. We will face a lot of paradoxes. What you can think about yourself and what others are allowed to think about you. So who we are most influenced by? What people think about us or talk about us, or what we think about ourselves? Which is more critical? All the times. Because what people or other devotees, other sadhakas, associates think about us, talk about us, they could be mixed. Some may be speaking, thinking more positively, some less, correct? So there's a lot of duality in it. So anything where two sides to anything, that is never going to be so critical, believe me. You can always find some people who speak very nice about you and some not so nice about you. And so the natural tendency of the sadhaka is to develop affinity and liking for those who are favorable. No? We compartmentalize them, or they are good, or some are not good. So this perception, but this perception is not so critical, because everybody has the freedom to think what they think about you, correct? You have no control over others, what they think about you. But you are definitely consciously, what you think about yourself is always going to be critical. So any stage of your, of course, beginning, in the middle stage, or even at the stage of perfection, attaining perfection, one cannot afford to think that one has become a pure devotee. Even when all around people call you or think about or talk about you as a pure devotee, how you would be influenced now? You will be influenced by what others talk about you. You will be tested as to how you are influenced by what people think about you, and that is only what you think about yourself, or you want to start thinking about yourself, that will be critical. You're getting my point, what I'm trying to share. So this attitude, I want to become a pure devotee. I have not become a pure devotee as yet, correct? Can we begin with this acknowledgement? I have the potential to become a pure devotee, but I have so far, until now, underperformed. I have remained underachiever. So who can inspire me? What will inspire me to act to my full potential? How can I remain very enthusiastically engaged on the way to become a pure devotee, becoming a pure devotee? So this attitude is very, very essential. So the person we take shelter of, we should have absolute conviction about his being a pure devotee, his being my Prabhupada, my Sripad, or my Sri Guru. Prabhupada, Sripad, Sri Guru, they are the title befitting a pure devotee. And pure devotee is the one's individual or collective perception of the sadhaka. He is my way to the Supreme. If I can follow his direction, if I can become dedicated to him, attached to him, it is the guarantee to attain the attachment to the Supreme. It is my guarantee to become a pure devotee. Now, a pure devotee will never certify himself as a pure devotee. This is the critical thing. Even if one follows all the process and everything, and say, well, I have put all the pieces into puzzle, I can call myself a pure devotee. That danger, or actually, that prerogative is not ours. Leave that prerogative for others, okay? So only one who never claims to be a pure devotee can be a pure devotee. One who ever even imagines to be a pure devotee cannot be a pure devotee. So in one's search, in one's observation, one has to spot if someone can be really called a pure devotee. And that in that search, Krishna will help us. We must beg Krishna. May Krishna reveal a pure devotee in my heart. So when Krishna becomes involved in revealing us a pure devotee in our life, then we don't look back. We feel that Krishna has blessed us in this way. So this attitude should be that we must beg Krishna. And by Krishna's mercy, one gets connection to a pure devotee, and by the mercy of a pure devotee, one attains the darshan, attains the Supreme. So this is a simple process. So a sadhaka must fervently pray to Krishna. So the sadhana or the chanting and all the study of Bhagavatam, all these devotional activities we perform before getting initiation, it has a graduation at the point of initiation. Before initiation, whatever chanting and devotional activities we perform, they get their graduation at the point of initiation. And after initiation, our graduation is attaining the Supreme. So the bhajan sadhan which we perform before initiation under the shelter of a pure devotee, who is perceived by us as a pure devotee by Krishna's grace, so that shelter one gets, we must pray to Krishna. So all our chanting and everything We pray to Krishna. The Krishna, I want to become a pure devotee. So please connect me to a pure devotee. Now it is Krishna's obligation. Believe me. When Krishna reveals in your heart, gives you the conviction of the heart about someone, there may be many thousands of pure devotees all around us, correct? But for every sadhaka, a different person could be a customized pure devotee, correct? So that it's a perception, it's a subjective individual perception. So if you pray to Krishna, Krishna will bless you with that revelation. All right? Involve Krishna. Don't isolate Krishna. Okay, Andrea, you have anything to say?
It's just nice to be here. I'm sorry I've missed all the other ones. Just to be here is good, and I will endeavour to join again.
Welcome. You are always welcome. Natali?
Shri Guru. Actually, I just had a question. I first wanted to thank you for the class, but so when I'm staying at the temple for some time, then it's a lot easier for me to, like think of Krishna, and because you're in good association, so it just, yeah, but then when I'm back home, it is a little bit more difficult, and so I'm always kind of wondering, like, how much should I not exactly push myself, but how can I find out if I'm just being lazy or if I'm in a bad mood, or if this if the chanting that I'm doing and if the mood I'm in is the best I can do at the moment. This is like a little bit hard to figure out for me sometimes.
Yes. Everybody has to live with one's individual situations and circumstances, correct? So our destiny follows us, or we can say we follow our destiny, correct? What is the difference maker? The difference maker is only our connection to a pure devotee. So how strongly we feel connected to a pure devotee, that can make the huge complete difference. Naturally, we try to protect our association and everything, but the real thing is at what level we are feeling the magnitude of the instructions or magnitude of the vision or the divine vision of our identity we are receiving from the association of a pure devotee. Because that bond can make miracles in our life. Even if we are designed to move in east or west or north or south, but only the direction of a pure devotee can change the course of our destination, of the course of our destiny. Otherwise, our destiny, our karma, whatever we want to call, the impressions of our previous desires, which may be coming to be fulfilled. But if you become enlightened to the level of awakening, we can feel so inspired, we can become so thrilled actually about our individual spiritual identity. If one's consciousness, if one's mind is captured with the thought as to who I really am. One is able to protect oneself under all circumstances. Is the fascination about our identity that will set us apart. Even if we are in the midst of any atmosphere which is not most conducive for pure devotional service. But just as a different example, you know, our identification. That's why in today's shloka, this identity crisis is very wonderfully addressed. No? Who you belong to, correct? Now I belong, like even this is a critical question what you asked. Of course, in ultimate sense, we belong to our Swamini Srimati Radharani, correct? That is our ultimate message, Mahaprabhu. But I belong to Radharani, but I'm bereft of Radharani's direct association, correct? That association will be attained when we attain the perfection while performing this devotional practice through our mind, through our words, through our speech, and also our actions. In the meantime, our identifying ourselves as Radharani is, then again we need the association. So Radharani is not directly available, correct? She will become available only when we are transferred there. But meantime, those who belong to Radharani, or those who are, you know, those who are perceived as devoted to Radharani, so identifying with such persons, or at least one person, would be great, because that will keep our consciousness from getting trapped into the three modes. Believe me, these three modes, their onslaught attack on us is incessant. Only one who has found oneself truly is saved from it. You have heard the concept lost and found? We are constantly lost. You know. And then we can attach to any identity. A lost person is ready to attach to any identity. So we will be thrown through our karma and desires and impressions of so many things. So many things we have developed liking for us, and attraction for. But fascination, if we got about our own identity, our true identity, so we have to find ourselves. Once you have found yourself, you cannot be lost. Just write this statement in some paper, make a good. If I have found myself, and a pure devotee has helped me find myself, he has helped me identify as to who I really am. Now I cannot be lost. Rather, I cannot afford to get lost again. Can you? So if any way you are able to modify your present existence to bring yourself more in association of such like-minded devotees, and engage, don't allow idle time. I want to share one experience. We have so much treasure unexplored given by Mahaprabhu. His books, his followers, and all this. I feel I have so little time left, and I have so much more to explore. You know, So Mahaprabhu and his followers, the Shad Goswamis and all these Prabhupadas and pure devotees, they have left so much for us to simply copy. Why I say copy? Copying is not good, correct? It is said that you have to study yourself and then work hard and you have to write your paper. But when something is so precious, something is so valuable, so priceless, we cannot have that much price to pay to receive that thing. So somebody has just given us free, just take it. So much treasure, so much joy is there to engulf us, to drown us into transcendence. If you have you deserve to become fully blessed. That conviction should be there. Because Mahaprabhu has come to bestow. One should not feel that I don't deserve it. That's a very negative thought. You can deserve it. Because we all as a human being can deserve it. And we have to keep that focus on. Through Kripa, we don't deserve on our own accord or through our own so-called qualifications, different qualifications, correct? Different things. But the real qualification is to attain the Kripa. Because Kripa alone, so Kripa one receives by attaching to the association of a pure devotee. That is the process of receiving Kripa. If you want to realize, ultimately, after this life journey is over, then our hankering to attain the Supreme, our hankering to become a maid servant of Srimati Radharani, that will be fulfilled only how we conduct our life, the present life. If you build up that, that aspiration and hankering and thriving in our such identification, that I belong to Srimati Radharani. So in the meantime, we should try to associate with such devotees, and one can identify in the I belong to one who belongs to Radharani. That you have to identify. That you have to beg Krishna, who you feel so convinced about. So this is my heartfelt advice, since you're asking. That it's a great joy to feel the sense of belonging to someone who belongs to Radharani. All right? But keep yourself engaged, especially your mind, deeply in the study of Prem Bhakti Chandrika and Pratna by Narottam Das Thakur. When my spiritual master was asked by someone, pretty newcomer in Krishna consciousness, that Maharaj, how can I fast advance in Krishna consciousness? And Guru Maharaj told him that if you want to advance fast in Krishna consciousness, you should study and recite the Prem Bhakti Chandrika and Pratna by Narottam Das Thakur. So that would be very, very important thing. Now, by Krishna's arrangement, all these literatures are available in English. And presently we are studying this Sri Radha Rasu Sudhanidhi. That takes us directly into that concept. It is so powerful. I think you can also get hold of one copy of Sri Radha Rasu Sudhanidhi. It is so drowning, and it will leave with no doubts, because our trying to purify our existence in a slow process, in a casual way, we take to this path of pure devotional service, but we remain casual, just okay, everything fine, until we are individually drawn into the depth, until we feel the tremendous fascination about our divine identity as to who I really am, How Mahaprabhu tries to see yourself from the vision of Mahaprabhu. That will be great. Mahaprabhu sees you as Radharani's a choicest Manjari. Correct? So how fascinated to this concept you are, because Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, Bhagavatam says that casual bhakti will take us many lifetimes. In one lifetime, if you want to capture the real jewel, then find yourself. Find yourself as Mahaprabhu has described you. As Mahaprabhu has revealed to all of us where we belong. So my question to you is, where do you belong? Who do you belong to? Ask this question.
Srimati Radharani.
Yes. Correct. And anyone who causes that fascination, that conviction, then we also want to belong to them. Nah? Because it's the same unit. So anyone in that unit would do us the greatest good in our life, because they will always keep us spot on as to who we really are. They will keep us from getting distracted towards any other fascination. Our fascination has to keep on increasing. And as we observe this material world plagued by the three modes of material nature, we can see its stinking nature. So we will be protected from, because we have been so much used since eternity to deal and appreciate this material realm only. And to pull in one shot, in one shot, because slow process is so slow. Slow process is only a consolation for those who don't qualify for the fast mercy or for the mercy. What Krishna can do. Krishna is so patiently, because since eternity the conditioned soul has so determined to remain conditioned, correct? Nobody wants to become liberated. So Krishna says, okay, Arjuna is asking question, Krishna, why if some yogi or sadhaka does not make it all the way in one life? Krishna says, okay, if he fails, if he gets distracted to certain things, again he will get another opportunity. So such conversation between, they should not trap us. Okay, if I don't make it all the way, I will get another opportunity. But what is the guarantee that the next opportunity we will be better off? We may have gotten many opportunities in the past, but we couldn't make it all the way, correct? And we think, oh, my present situation is not so good. I have this problem, this, but Krishna, I will wait next lifetime. This lifetime, let me live the way I am living. Next lifetime, I will, because you guarantee, you says that, yes, if I don't make it all the way, I will get another opportunity. But in another opportunity, what would be my consciousness? Can I guarantee? Would I remember as to what I was in this present lifetime, next lifetime? So become fully convinced these vibrations, this thought should fill your consciousness that the present opportunity given to us is the best opportunity since eternity. Because in the present lifetime, the present moment, you are able to identify yourself, as you just said, that you belong to Srimati Radharani. From this point, you can definitely just simply target the supreme destination. Then in the life, whatever activities we do through our, we have to live in the family, society, or surrounding, but our internal focus should be in that identity. Then external situations cannot tempt us. External situations cannot, even with previous impressions, previous desires, they haunt us to pursue something or get something. Only by remaining potently connected or attached to a pure devotee, one can go all the way. Because then association or attachment to a pure devotee will always keep our focus to become a pure devotee. And we won't do anything which will keep us from becoming a pure devotee. So these are the things. It's a fascinating thing. It's a tremendous fascination. Only in Mahat Sangha, our connection to a pure devotee can free us from the plethora of anarthas, plethora of unwanted temptations, or because in no time we will be lost again. It's such a rare moment. One should feel that I have found myself, correct? Since eternity, I have been lost. How can I afford to get lost again? Hare Krishna. All right. Anyone else? So, is our Anand Vigraha announced? So next Tuesday we can have, your timing is 7 would be convenient, correct, for all of you? 7 to 8, 8:30, even 7 to 9. Right now it's like 10 o'clock there. So 7 to 9. So next Tuesday we'll join your time 7 o'clock, our time 2 p.m. All right. So we are joining 1 hour earlier. So that's progressive, correct? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Pranam Shri Guru.
Hare Krishna, Sri Swami.
Very beautiful class, Shri Guru.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Gaur
Hare
Premanande, Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's really wonderful to hear you even in this at this time. It's really great. I can't restrict myself to say. So really, the nectar which you flows at every moment, it's really wonderful. Thank you for everything. Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Welcome. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
What comes from your transcendental lotus mouth is very inspiring. It's transcendentally inspiring. This thing, every single sentence like Harsha Shoka. Yeah, truly since eternity, this is what I've been doing, like Harsha and Shoka. And remember, Shri Guru, you inspired us into Krishna consciousness that since eternity I've been becoming son or daughter or what, and now it's like becoming a devotee son. And realizing or understanding this responsibility and taking this onus, this initiative of becoming a pure devotee and finding my Srila Prabhupada, finding my connection to our Swamini Srimati Radharani. And this, you bridge this gap, Shri Guru, you bridge this gap fully of this general knowledge, basic general knowledge, basic understanding of human form of life. This you say, this should be our samanya gyan, basic understanding, and this basic my identity, and it should be so revolutionary and bringing so much of newer and newer joy, newer and newer revelations. And I pray, Shri Guru, by your blessings, if I can absorb myself, consume myself, and dedicate myself one day fully and devote myself.
It builds up as we partake in transcendental discussion. It's very enlightening, and it's like one spark, correct? When sparks come and they die out, correct? Spark die out. Lightning like comes and goes. So when the sparkling becomes incessant, that is called the awakening, that we are incessantly enlightened towards our ultimate, reaching our ultimate supreme destination. We cannot get away from that focus of attaining our supreme destination. And that's the most enlivening, that's the most wonderful, ever enthusing state of existence. What could be a greater joy than having found oneself? Just think of this, contemplate over this concept. This is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, and essence of the mercy of Mahaprabhu. It has the capacity, it has to drown us. How can I not get drowned into it? Am I that unfortunate? No, I am not that unfortunate. Connecting to Mahaprabhu's mercy and those who are connected to Mahaprabhu, the ultimate fortune has been exposed to me. I have found myself. What could be a greater wealth than finding oneself? You can be blessed with all the titles of this world, all the stages, positions, power, everything, with yourself lost. Correct? If one has lost oneself, if one is in identity crisis about oneself, everything attached to that identity crisis is coming and going. Nothing remains there. So once you have found as to who you are eternally, then you will only attach to those things which can stick to you. One will be able to free oneself to attach with those things which don't belong to us. So that is the That is the true self-realization. So what comes first? Self-realization or God realization? Natali. Samantha Gyan, we discussed the first shloka of this Vṛtrāsura. It goes very deep. Actually, one can discuss for hours and hours. These 4 shlokas will go very deep. I don't know how much Krishna will use me, Gurudev will use me as an instrument to describe, but this subject matter is very deep. Because the Chatushloki, which is in the codes given by Krishna to Lord Brahma in his heart, but through Vṛtrāsura prayer, they are decoding all the secrets of Bhagavatam. Because we don't exist in isolation. We don't exist on our own. We belong to someone, correct? So what comes first, God realization or self-realization? Andrea, do you understand the concept? God realization versus self-realization?
Not totally, no.
Okay, who we belong to?
As in God, Krishna.
Yes, we belong to God. We belong to God, Krishna, yes. So first you have to identify Krishna, correct? Without identifying as to who God is, because there is no point of self-realization. So what comes first? God realization, correct?
Yeah.
Then you can belong to him. But without realizing who you belong to, if you don't know, there is no self-realization. So self-realization on this path of Krishna consciousness is the ultimate point, the ultimate achievement, finding oneself. Till that self-realization, since eternity, we have lived only in identity crisis. What a spiral, what a... Since eternity means a long time, correct? We don't want to procrastinate that getting lost for eternity. Right now is our opportunity. This is our moment to remain found for eternity now. All right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru. A wonderful class. And very beautifully you explained that how we need to hanker for Krishna. And when we hanker for Krishna, Krishna paves the path for us. But without your mercy, Shri Guru, we won't even know that we want to hanker for Krishna. Without listening to you, without your mercy, all will be lost, Shri Guru.
Well, Krishna's mercy comes through his agents, correct? And in our in our experience, we always give credit to one who brings the good news, correct? one who brings instrumental. So it's all Krishna's mercy flowing, but since we don't see Krishna per se, we see someone. So he is perceived as Krishna coming in our life. So the status of the spiritual master or pure devotee is such that he is the manifest Krishna in our lives. How much honor, how much love, how much dedication, how much attachment we can attach to him as we imagine how much we would do this to Krishna. Krishna is still paroksha, indirect, but one who comes is direct manifestation in our life, who connects us to Krishna. He is perceived as no less valuable, no less worshipable, no less lovable more is allowed. Less is diminishing his position. But that is very much, that will be very much appreciated at the point of Prem Prayojan.
Asakti. Shri Guru.
And asakti is rarely achieved. But if you associate sufficiently, as in today's shloka, how one associates on the bodily level, on the speech level, and also on the mind level. Manas mareta supate gunamste grinit vak karma karotu kaya. Similarly, glorifying a pure devotee who comes in our life, we can glorify through our mind. That I am blessed, or I am connected to the most blessed. Correct. One can remember, one can have that, feel that fortune of being connected or being blessed by the most blessed. Our perception about a pure devotee in our life has to be like that. He is the most blessed. When you perceive someone the most blessed, you will not compare him with anyone else. He is the most blessed, correct? Then you will have no distraction, no looking kintu parantu. You know. So that revelation one should beg from Krishna. And with the words we can glorify, we can, and through our senses, in the body, we can engage as per his direction, or we can engage our life energy to serve his mission, because his mission is non-different from Krishna's mission. That understanding, that conviction should be there. Then we are not in duality, although we are surrounded by the realm of duality and the unlimited permutations of the three modes of material nature. Only with that sound, absolute connection to the absolute person, a pure devotee, we also attain. We can also become situated on absolute platform. Although apparently we are also surrounded by the realm of three modes of material nature. So this is possible because whatever accomplishment we are aspiring in the spiritual world or in the world beyond it, if we don't experience it while here, so to make this experience available to all of us, Krishna has created this parampara. We are coming in Mahaprabhu's parampara. If we cannot experience that tremendous sense of attachment to the divine, you know, how can we hanker? How can we hanker for something which we have no taste of? No? Unless we have developed the taste for the sample, how can we hanker for the whole thing? So Krishna and his realm, and our entrance there is the whole thing. But the sample of that realm, if we can identify in our life, then we also develop that attachment. And so Bhagavatam 3:25-20 says the same thing. Same attachment if you have developed for a saintly person, a pure devotee in perception. Then Moksha-dvaram apavritam, you are guaranteed your door for attaining the transcendental realm is guaranteed. Don't we need a guarantee, all of us? Don't we need a guarantee? Without guarantee, we'll be lost in no time. We can safeguard our self-finding only with a guarantee. Now, by attaching or connecting to the guarantee, now we cannot get lost. Gaur Premanande. So stay found. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. All right?
Not so all right, Shri Guru. We don't feel like leaving you.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanavad Pranam, Shri Guru. This is, I think, the best part of the week is to hear you talk. It feels like you're back here in Karnavavan. But it's also the hardest part of the week because we also have to end the call. Thank you so much, Shri Guru. Thank you. Please keep on blessing us.
It's my joy and pleasure to be with you all, the pure souls. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nitai. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Together we can all unmute and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for Shri Guru as a thank you for his love and his care, his compassion.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Param Puja Bhaktisvarupa Govinda Guru Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai.
Samavet Nitai Gaur Bhaktavind ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Hare Bol.
So stay focused and be in resolve and move forward. Always remain progressive because you belong there, not here. Right? So you can make all the compromises here, but not compromise with that focus. Here you can make all the adjustments, but never dilute the focus of our supreme destination. That will be the bond. We are not poor, okay? We are the richest. Because we are connected to the richest. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
With lots of pain, Shri Guru, we have to end this call. Very, very painfully. Hare Krishna.